Sometimes destruction is an act of creativity. Peace. It's Travis Soderwell. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. Destroying, razing to the ground, discarding, blowing up, delete, remove, throw it away, cast off, dump, letting go, death. These are all different words for destroying something. The systematic cycle of death and rebirth. That's probably the most simple explanation of what spiritual architecture is. Talk about seasons, talk about birth. These are all ways of change, the unseen forces of action, the unseen forces of change. The death and rebirth cycle. Why are we bringing this up? Because that's really what change is. When we talk about on a high level, a mental level, we're avoidant of change because the subconscious, the body, the old ways, the thoughts, they're dying. Replacing old ideas with new ideas is death of that old idea and a new birth of a new idea. Even leveling up. I think that's why there is a fear of success, fear of accomplishment, fear of leveling up. There's a comfort in what we're used to. There's a comfort in comfort. There's a comfort in the old ways, what you've been used to. I forget what type of fish this is. I don't remember what the name is. It was a podcast I listened to years ago from some comedians. Patrice O'Neal was one. He wouldn't be the one that talked about the fish. It was Dante Nero. He talked about this fish that it lives in filth, and that if you change the water and put clean water in it, it'd die. And unfortunately, some people are like that. That's another spin on having a dirty mind. Some people are just used to living with a dirty mind. Now, I don't believe if you clean up their mind, they'll die. They may if you do it too drastically, though. So that's why there is a process to this. Most people can only take a maximum from like 7 to 10% change at one time. That's why when there is a very dramatic, can be almost traumatic change, sometimes people can get hurt when they're changing for the better. When we're talking about achievement, success, business, leveling up, it's where we start talking about one thing, just haters. People that they may hate to see you level up just because they haters, jealous, envy. And then there are people that, whether they know it consciously or unconsciously, they know you're growing apart. Literally, you are growing and moving apart from where they are staying. This is the way of life. Again, a lot of us, consciously or unconsciously, will stay where we're at to stay with people we may care about. Can be a comfort thing, can be a love thing, be an attachment thing. These are all the deeper seated things we're all going through. And life don't stop. The business don't stop. You growing yourself so you can have habitual joy and happiness, that don't stop. And these other things are happening day in, day out. It's the real part of growth that I've only really heard about when we're talking about people that have started a business, people that have made big changes in their life. And it's particular to the change you're making. There's a certain kind of leveling up when you're just leveling up as an individual, making a few changes, doing better for yourself, pursuing interests more, getting in shape, just changing how you live, what you do, picking up a hobby. There are changes in that with relationships. There are going to be changes throughout your life just from doing any sort of change. As I've made my plan, done a little bit of MMA, and I was like, okay, I got to get in shape so I can get in shape to do MMA. And then that really set the pace of, okay, these things I need to change. It takes time to exercise. Okay, got to take the time. Need to get out of my apartment, get out and go exercise, go somewhere. This all takes time, takes energy. And then, bam, okay, I set this amount of time. Still got to record podcasts. Boom. Got to level up the business more. Reach out to people, prospect. That takes time. Got to put out more content. YouTube, Facebook, do lives, make an offer, invite people to the offer. This all takes time. And the only way that I see is to be sane, have fun, and continue to grow is to design my lifestyle with intention. So for me, pursuing being an entrepreneur, these big areas of my life all connect and all straighten things out. But then there's other areas of my life that right now, they're in flux. They're changing. They're moving. Mainly my relationships with other humans. These relationships have changed. They're going to continue to change. Hopefully the big piece has happened to where it really comes down to you've changed as a person and everything has to adjust to the growth and development you've done. There's a lot of internal work we have to do because we're looking at things differently. We start seeing things differently. Mainly when you're an achiever, you start seeing what you did to get to where you got. And then you listen to other people maybe complaining or whatever they're talking about. And it's like, well, you're not really doing anything. So why should you have any results? You're not changing anything. You're not getting any new ideas, any new experiences. You're hanging out with the same people. Now, people can be annoying. I get that. I don't get, after my 4 decades and 3 years on this planet, I don't get knowing someone acts a certain type of way and expecting them to act some other type of way or getting my blood pressure all up. But this goes into the last piece for me is the change of the job and getting away from people that just we ain't the same. Just complainers, people that make mountains out of molehills. Really, less than that. They make mountains out of anthills. So everything's a big deal. Nothing's right. Nothing's ever okay. They don't wake up and solve problems. They wake up and see problems. They bring other problems to other people. So this is all this process of change. And to know that until you make it a habit, change a habit, growth and development a habit, there's going to be the pain of change. You're gonna stutter step a little bit. It's gonna shake you. Oh man, I gotta do that. Something that's been ringing in my head, and I'm gonna tell you I ain't like it. It's from my coach, Coach Michael Burton. It's gonna take longer than we thought. It's gonna be harder than we thought, and it's gonna cost more than we thought. I don't like hearing that. I don't like it being reality. And yet, we need to know this. So when things are taking a little longer because of our own work we have to do as an individual, or because of work with other people that are either can be slowing us down, be quite straightforward. Sometimes other people can be slowing us down. And sometimes it's just the environment. The environment slow you down. If you like me, still working a job, working on building a business, the job's slowing us down. And yet it's there still so we can pay our bills, obviously. That's why we're still there. So things may take longer than we think. But to know it's going to take longer and to know what progress looks like, that's key. That keeps us sane. That keeps us moving forward. That keeps us in the drive to recognize what we've done today. Because we wake up and we hit our minimums and we're going to reach our maximum development and growth potential. So keep on grinding, y'all. Sometimes you got to be optimistic with your pessimism and just knowing that some things are going to have to be taken down. Some things are going to have to be moved to the side. Some people are going to have to be left alone. And definitely our old habits and old thoughts that aren't serving us are going to have to be replaced with new thoughts. So continue to do the work today. What work are you doing? Are you looking at things realistically? Are you trying to hang on to old people, old ideas, old habits, even old things that you need to let go so you can grow? It's Travis Soda Well. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.